Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another highly logical podcast slash review of Star Trek Section 31. The wool is over your eyes. I am joined by my usual Trekkies in arms and a rather ginger freak over here right next to me. Lord Donkey, Zam, Ginger Greek, how you guys doing?
Sweet as, mate.
Good.
I think you have a lag on your thing, Ginge, but that's okay.
Oh,
We can still hear you.
sake.
So Section 31 is now here. We've been talking about it for 4 years now. Originally announced in 2020, I believe. Originally a television show, then consolidated down to a review or to a movie, long trek, quote unquote, because they didn't want to put it in the movie slash cinema. And yeah, so a lot of contention behind this movie because we've had a lot of people. The trailers, I'm sorry, the trailers did not sell this movie well for me at all. So let's just do some overall impressions, and we can jump into like the discussion part of it. I want to get the non-Trekkie, well, non-serious Trekkie in the room. Lord Donkey, no, I'm kidding. Ginger Greek. What?
Am I still lagging?
You are still lagging, but
What? Just 2 seconds.
okay.
Okay, well, Picker.
And then there were
my
the
All right. Well, we'll start with Zam.
Trinity.
Zam, go right on ahead. Tell us what you thought of Section 31.
Well, Ginger's back now. We want to try him again.
Am
We'll
I
change
lagging
your
now?
name as well.
Nope, you are good.
All right. This film was the biggest pile of shit I've ever seen in my life. It was so bad. And the only reason I watched it is because Dear Zam suffered as a consequence. So I was just like, all right, you know what? As a mate, I'm going to watch it too just to see how bad it is. And it is so bad. It is a bloody insult to filmmaking, to writing, to editing, to Star Trek, to Star Wars, to Star anything. I lost the will to live trying to watch this. I had to put it on 1.5 speed to skip through it. I didn't even bother with the fight scenes because they were so badly edited. I was literally getting dizzy. So I was just, skipping ahead a few seconds every time for the fight scenes. I didn't miss anything from the looks of it. It followed all the worst tropes that you could follow. It starts off like a fucking Snyder film. Firstly, with all the goddamn slow mo and can't hear the audio, whatever the fuck the bitch was whispering. I hate everything about this. I thought they couldn't make worse than Picard, and they managed to do worse than Picard. This was as bad, if not worse, than Rebel Moon.
Wow.
You
Guys,
stole
I
my
think we're
thunder.
done here. I don't think there's
Yeah,
anything
all right,
else to
everybody.
say.
You stole my thunder, Ginger.
Honestly, I think
What
that
else
that
is there to
covers
say,
it.
Zab?
No,
Like,
but because I was gonna say that when I first started, when the opening credits, I thought I was watching Rebel Moon Part 3.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sorry,
Because
mate.
it was that.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
Rebel Moon, so I can't comment
Oh, it's
there.
shit. It's absolutely
it's
shit.
so
But
bad.
honestly, Rebel Moon is watchable compared to this. You
Yeah.
know, this was irritating. You know, this was really irritating. Like the characters were awful, the dialogue was awful. Yes, it is a TV movie, and yes, it is not your usual type of Star Trek film. But regardless, you know, it could still be a left field film in the Star Trek universe, which is not remotely Star Trek, but still has some of the vibes, and at the same time, it's still a good piece of entertainment. And this was not any of that. You know, everything about the film was bad, and the character of Philippa Georgiou, which is something a character we've come across since she was introduced to us in Discovery. Really, like, you've done her an injustice in this movie as well.
Mhm.
Like, you really have done this great character an injustice. This is one of the worst things. This is without doubt the worst Star Trek ever. There's nothing comes close to this. You know what I mean? There's been in Star Trek 5, you're forgiven. You know
No,
what I mean?
no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no,
No, no.
Yes,
See,
yes.
see,
No,
that's
yes,
where
no.
yes,
that's
yes,
where
without
I
a doubt.
want to know. I want to know
Absolutely.
where people place this in the bottom because I'm not
Oh,
putting
this
it
is
at
the
the very bottom. I'm not.
I am without a doubt. There's nothing that is as bad as even that episode, that
Damn,
terrible
mate.
episode of Next Generation with on the black people planet. This is worse than that. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is
No.
worse than that's worse. It's worse than that. This. I'm sorry, I'm giving the game away a lot earlier than I want to. I wanted to hold this back until a little bit later, but this made me want to fucking kill myself. You know what I mean? It was that level of bad. I wanted to end it all. You know what I mean? I never wanted to come back from it. It was so bad. You know, oh god. I know
He
I'll
was,
bring up some more stuff,
just to
but yeah,
interject, just briefly, he was
yeah,
messaging me whilst watching this film about how much pain he was in watching this
yeah,
film.
yeah,
Can we see
yeah,
those texts? I feel like that would be an interesting
Sure, okay,
interesting
yeah.
moment
Please
of
do.
Star Trek history.
sure, no problem.
Well, while he looks that up, Lord Donkey, why don't you give us your
Oh,
thoughts?
I feel like I
No
wanted
gays,
to
so
like
0 out of 10.
this. No, I feel like there was still some that Vulcan had to have some gay in there somewhere. That character was all over the place. Um, this this was bad. This Michelle Yeoh did the best. I feel like she did the best she could, but that being the only hook to this movie, it's not enough.
But here's the thing: is
It's
that Michelle Yeoh wanted this made. Like this is her thing. Like yes, she
But
didn't write it.
who cobbled this movie together? Because I feel like we have, um, let's see, we pulled we created a villain that is like, oh, let's take Cybox Madness, let's take what else? We've got Shinzon's mega weapon. Let's put in a mega weapon because that's never been done before. That we have to stop the big weapon before it explodes. And we try to imitate Khan's revenge or nothing. Like it was pieced together from all over Star Trek. Like when the villain's ship,
Rick B is jizzing all over himself right now.
because I don't like something that
No,
because
because
we
we're
don't
all
like
shitting
something.
on this.
Well, here we go. We are shitting on something that deserves to be shit on.
Yeah.
Um,
We're honest.
the ship that the villain had was one of the two times that I laughed in this movie, because I looked at that ship and thought, wow, they just copy and pasted a ship out of No Man's Sky. Like this was very
Yeah.
bad. I think we can all agree this was very bad, so I don't know that the rankings really matter. I'm more interested in where you place this at the bottom, because I'm still putting Into Darkness below this
Oh, this is worse
and
than that
Star Trek
even.
Into
5.
Darkness is nowhere near this bad.
Into
I still
Darkness is I think Into Darkness
It's
is
a
a terrible
masterpiece
movie.
compared to this piece of shit.
But
uh,
this was everything Ginger said about this movie, um, regarding the tropes. It was all there, like the sort of the jokey
yeah.
humor and shit like that. Oh my god, this is something that is honestly it's a very American thing when you see shit like this, and it's just done so poorly. You know, this is sitcom level of bullshit in a television production, and it makes an already cheap looking movie look even cheaper when you have this level of writing and this level of performance and this level of dialogue. It's fucking awful. And then also,
Just 1 second, Zam.
yeah,
Let's get Cheeto's opinion, and
oh
then
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you can
yeah,
let
yeah.
Cheeto, did you
out
have
there.
thoughts about this?
I mean, yeah, this was pretty bad, but I'm a little bit I'm a little bit more forgiving than you guys are about it. You're right, it's definitely Americana. I got some Guardians of the Galaxy gone wrong vibes out of this movie.
Hmm.
The thing was is that I was going off of the trailers, and what we got versus what was in the trailers actually low. Like my bar was so freaking low for this that I went in and I was like, huh, because I thought it was just
My-
going to be like covert ops the whole time. I was not expecting like a a mole mystery, anything like that. Like even though I get it, all the tropes are there, it's all but I'm like it's almost because I was so low on my expectations going in because of the trailers. I was like, this is not as awful as I thought it was going to be. It's still pretty bad, but I think they did Rachel Garrett really, really dirty in this movie. Michelle Yeoh, I think she did pretty good. I didn't mind the camaraderie between the crew because, when you guys are that sick in the head, like you kind of have
There
to.
was camaraderie.
That's
No camaraderie. I didn't
Oh,
find any
here.
camaraderie.
I didn't
They were just
feel
talking
any.
bollocks to each other. Yeah.
Well, because
It
you guys were
was-
skipping half the movie and watching it at
No, I
one
wasn't.
speed.
I
I
didn't skip.
ordealed it.
It
I'm
was
seasoned enough to know what's
Rogue
going on.
One staffed by the Suicide Squad, and they killed the most interesting part of their squad at the very beginning. The Delton is the one that I wanted to see more of. Not
Me
in that
too.
way. Not
No.
like you, but I
All
wanted to see
right,
more of the
Jane, whatever,
Delton.
bro.
and they kill her off immediately, and we're left with this annoying Vulcan. This I'm a big mech guy. Like, oh, this is like a big truck in
yeah.
space. That guy was the most annoying, and
Very
what?
irritating
I
characters.
didn't mind the guy that was the augment. He was all right, but
Oh, you mean
it just
uncommon? Not common, but uncommon, because he looks like common, but he's uncommon. That's
oh
why I like to call him.
Yeah,
Well,
there's a rapper
they
called
got
Common.
because
Spitting
they
image.
tried to get the common
On the
actor. Yeah,
Rick B. Why are you fucking all that shit?
yeah.
Because it's really shit.
Look.
He's
Regarding
Put that
like,
eggplant away, sir.
look, one of the things, another thing that also annoyed me with the film was like locations and stuff like that. Like we were stuck on this shithole planet for a fucking long time. Like
Oh my
I thought this was
God.
gonna be a heist movie, and then it turned into a fucking who done it, and then it turned into some sort of revenge film, and then we're stuck on this planet, this shithole planet for fucking ages, trying to get off this fucking planet, and then we end up on this junker that can't do jack shit. All I got is garbage. That's all I fucking got. Oh god,
So-
everything and the twists and the turns. Oh, it's just so
Well, and the one thing
shit.
that I was going to bring up is like the MacGuffin of the movie, like the the thing
The
that can destroy a
Godspeed.
whole quadrant. Like I'm like I feel like that. Yeah, like that's so that is cliche, and I'm like another direction they could have gone with it is not being so much a direct result of what happens, but destroy like a direct result of destroying the universe. But like, what if that device opened a portal? Because from the mirror universe to the prime universe, they can't bring ships back and forth. They can only with transporter accidents.
But Cheeto, this was the major plot hole.
Okay,
This
hold on.
device is
Let me finish. So I think
yeah.
that the MacGuffin should have been to open a portal big enough to bring ships through, so then the mirror universe could invade. Not, oh, it can destroy the whole quadrant. It's like, no, like,
Why did we send Michelle back or Giorgio back with the what's it called, the thing from TOS, the Guardian?
The Guardian
Well, she's
of
just
Forever?
trying to,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
she
did we
bring-
send
yeah,
her
she-
back and now she's back in our universe? we
she's
sent her
back in
back.
like the regular timeline. The
Yeah.
Picard
Why did she get
timeline.
sent back to
Oh,
Mirror Universe and now she's back in the Prime Universe?
I think you're right. That is ambiguous because they left it really open ended where they really sent her. Because honestly, this is in the middle of the Lost era. This is in the 2320s. So that's why Rachel Garrett's there. So Michelle Yeoh, if she went back to around Discovery time, she's over 100 years old at this point. Now, if the Guardian of Forever shortchanged her and dropped her off in the middle, the early 2300 or the 2300s, then okay, she's not as
Oh,
old.
he just sent her.
No, but she had to go back to a time which was more in line with hers because she was from a parallel universe and in a different
right, they were
time zone, which was
splitting.
really fucking her up, which was we saw in Discovery, which is why she had to go back in time in the first place. But my problem with this fucking MacGuffin thing, which was there to destroy everything, was that the Terran Empire wanted to come into this reality to invade it and strip it of all its resources because they've taken all the resources in their universe. But if they want to destroy this universe as well, then how the fuck are they supposed to do that? Like it makes no sense. They're gonna use this bomb to block our universe, and they want to also take out all the fucking all our resources at the same time. Like stupidity.
yeah,
Oh
just
god.
so
What-
stupid.
Oh god. This is
What
so
would have
bad.
been better? The only parts I found remotely interesting were when we were in the mirror universe. We were on Terra. The beginning was decent, and if they had stuck with that, and maybe they had completed the circle from the end of Discovery, where they they just randomly happen upon the ISS Enterprise. That might have been a better thing to do. But this whole, let's have a thing in a box that can destroy the universe. Let's name how many sci-fis have done that. Starting with Doctor Who just did that for the 50th anniversary with The Moment. It was this box that, oh, it does things and it turns and, oh, it can destroy the, like, we've seen this before.
So Doctor
We
Who
had the
sucks.
first Guardians of the Galaxy as well with the fucking Power Stone. All right,
Yeah,
not
we've
eradicate the whole
seen
universe. But
the universe-ending weapon.
And that's why I was saying maybe it wouldn't be more of a direct universe-ending weapon. It would just open a portal big enough for the Terran Empire to come
Exactly.
through.
That
I think that would have
made
been more
sense.
interesting. As I
yeah,
said,
much more interesting.
it does not redeem the story at all. But
So let's let me just okay. I want to just quickly dive into like watching this film, and straight away from the very first scene, I knew exactly what was going to happen. That I knew that the bad guy was going to be that guy,
mhm.
and the minute he pops up, all masked up, be like, okay, that's him. This is now a tale of revenge, and we know that the mole is going to be the little fucker because they literally expositioned everything that didn't need expositioning. The visuals were there. They gave you the visual of it, and yet they still gave you the exposition. You're just like, this is this like the writing. I just could not get past. Just you don't have to exposition everything. Enough with the quips. Stop trying to make this like it's the fucking 1990s still. This is where Hollywood is stuck in that level of writing, and they treat the audience. You're treating Star Trek audience like they're fucking morons.
I don't know
This
what you're
is
talking
for the
about.
Trekkies. This
So
isn't for the regular people. And
regarding
they give the whole plot away straight away from the start. Wait, stop biting that.
regarding Uncommon, yeah, he when we got a quick exposition of his backstory, he was, he's from 20th century Earth. He was part of the eugenics wars. Wasn't an episode of Discovery where they kind of moved the timeline of the eugenic wars into the 21st century. So that was a bit weird for a start.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then secondly,
But
did it fucking matter? Did any of this shit matter
Nope.
that he was from that period? Like, when did it come? When did it become relevant?
I
Later on in
think
the
I just
fucking
think they
film.
threw the word eugenics war in there to like catch the Trekkies' ears, be like, oh, eugenics wars. Yeah, no,
It's pointless.
I feel like that he could have just been an augment. Like he could have just been somebody who was
Yeah.
augmented against his will, because we know that
Like
there's
an
augment.
Illusion. Yeah.
So, and he maybe wanted to be in Starfleet, but they wouldn't let him because he's an augment. So then Section 31 picked him up. Like that's it. There's your fix. Like, he doesn't even have to be from the eugenics wars. The other thing is the big theory, which I support, is that the eugenics wars moved in like the Strange New World. That was Strange New Worlds.
Oh, Strange New Worlds. Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
It's fine,
Yeah.
but like I feel like that's because it's a separate universe. I've said that for a long time. That like Strange New Worlds,
Strange
Discovery,
New Worlds
all that.
is Discovery, Strange New Worlds are in the same. They have the same connection, and
Yes.
Philip and Georgiou is part of that connection. So with Strange New Worlds now having the eugenics wars in the
you're right.
21st century, like.
Well, and I mean, at the end of Picard season 2, you saw the Khan Noonien Singh file that did say 1996 on it. So
we have to hold.
and as I said, like that's the problem though, is that everything is muddy. Everything is muddy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Again, there are so many problems with
No,
this movie.
no, the tricorders, they were fucking phones. They were little. Like, did you see them? They were fucking.
No,
But they had the
were
classic sound.
But they were like
You-
this. They did
take
not
your
look like the
tricorder.
Yeah.
You go into the settings and you turn it to the classic TOS era sound effects. That's all it was.
What are these guys doing? Like, seriously, who is taking control of Star Trek right now? Like, this is bad, and this is giving people like Rick B, who have every right to criticize this, because I am right now. If Star Trek's going in this direction in the future, you're killing off this franchise. This is a franchise killer. This fucking episode. This movie. It really is that bad.
Like Star Trek 5.
With Strange New World season 3 on its way, I don't think this is a franchise killer, but this is significant. Here's where I'm thinking of it right now is the 2009 movie. We like to shit on the Kelvin universe sometimes, but that movie got me into Star Trek. It wasn't the greatest Star Trek film, but it got me into that and watch TNG, watch all the classic stuff. Um, I don't know if this is going to be a movie since it's kind of Star Trek light. I don't like when people say, "Oh, it's not Star Trek." No, it is Star Trek, but it's light on the Star Trek and heavy on the
I don't mind
whatever
that,
else
though,
it
as long as it's done
was.
well. Lord Donkey, I don't mind any of that as long as it's done well. You know what I mean? It
Exactly,
could, you know what I
exactly.
mean?
And it's not done well enough. I don't think it's done well enough to bring new fans into Star Trek. Star Trek 2009, sure, Rick B says it's a pile of crap right now. It was good enough to get me interested in Star Trek in 2009. So it was good enough to bring fans into the franchise. I don't know that this is going to be able to do that.
Regarding Star Trek 5, by the way, I could happily watch that again and be fine with it. You know, unlike, and I've watched Star Trek 5 several times, I will never,
You know
ever
what does it?
watch
What
Section
keeps it
31
down there for
again.
me? The three-breasted lady that Kirk that Shatner put in there. Like he's just having too much fun being the director.
Yeah, and yeah, no, Star Trek 5, no. I'm going to come out and say that I would rather watch this movie again than Star Trek 5. I would. Like
Wow.
yeah,
Shatner made Uhura do a sexy dance in Star
no.
Trek 5.
No.
I don't think she
She still
deserved
got
that.
it, dude.
She did still have it, but really, that's where you're going.
Cybok is becoming is a returning character in Strange New Worlds. You know, like this
Maybe.
Is Spock going to
maybe
tell him about his sister?
yeah, exactly, and all of these things. But you know, I thought there were some good moments. Like I still find that moment funny where Spock tells Kirk to hold his horses when he's literally holding the horses. You know what I
That's
mean? And
Yeah.
that was that. I
no,
thought
that
that was
is
a good little joke.
y'all
That
talk
comedy is
about
good,
cringe writing in this shit, and then he's
but
like, "Hold your horses." Oh, that's funny.
No, but it
No.
works in this.
all right.
Like, what?
It works
You
for
got
someone
your
like Spock.
kindergarten brain in there when you're.
It worked for Spock here
No, it did
because
not. It
Spock
did
is
not.
Spock
No.
is not
Oh,
I
doing a
have a
this is bad
metaphor.
writing.
proposition.
Hold your horses is funny.
I have a proposition. This needs to be the headline debate of the next Debatamania. Whether
And the
Section
rocket boots,
31 is worse than 5.
the
Oh God.
rocket
That's a
boots were
good
good,
topic.
and like you know, landing the shuttle without using a what do you call it? Oh God, what's it called again?
Tractor beam.
Tractor beam. Yeah, all of that. You know, Sulu having his moment. You know, like you know, we're going to be going for emergency section B. B for barricade. You must be
Riker says,
joking.
"Hold
I
my
mean,
beer. I'm going to dock the saucer section."
some real memorable moments in Star Trek Five.
Yeah, the
This
bad
film had
writing
none
was
of.
one of those.
Yeah,
I'd
I
rather
agree, but
watch.
If they tried to pull the same plot as Star Trek 5 without the original cast, mm-mm. The only thing that saves Star Trek 5 is that they had the original cast, I feel like.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
helped.
Chekhov and Sulu in the woods going, I think we're lost. Oh, we can't. We're in a storm. We can't find our way. Like, come on. Like, no, y'all shit on this. And as I said, I know this is bad. Don't get me wrong. This is bad, but not worse than Star Trek 5.
Yeah.
By far, not worse than
No,
Star Trek
no.
5.
I'm sorry. I will never agree with you on this one. But like once
That's
again,
fine.
like another
It's
moment
fair.
You're
with
allowed to be
Spock,
wrong.
he gets a bit angry at that Klingon leader and tells him, you know, damn you, sir, you will, you know, be in charge of this guy and put him in his position and stuff like that. You know, when it came to talking to his inferior who was attacking Kirk at the time. You know, that Klingon guy who believed that he was looking for God and shit like that as well. There were some great moments, you know, and I love that moment because you just see that human element in Spock, just to remind you that he is half human and he got pissed off and so he could help his friends. It's a good film. I think it gets
All right, Sam.
unfairly shit on.
Hold your horses. Let's talk about Section 31.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And look, I could talk about that and not fucking Section 31, but Section 31 And once again, hey, stop biting me, love. Wait. I'm not there to be eaten.
So maybe do we
Made me want to kill myself.
do we want to talk about any of the characters? I mean, like, did any character stick out to you guys as good? Any of them?
Giorgio's assistant that they randomly brought back from TOS, the half white, half black. That was a nice little nod.
No, but that was stupid as well because you watch the original series. Those two guys are the last two of their fucking species.
Hey,
yeah.
Jeff Goldblum says, "Life finds a way."
Life does.
They're
find
the
a
last
way.
two. They were the very
or
last
maybe
two.
that guy was cosplaying.
I mean, they probably just got it on, and life finds a way. Maybe they spliced with frog DNA.
Oh god.
Oh
god, like it's just so. Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me of that because that was so fucking bad. So all of it, and then some of the music was like Kill Bill and shit like that, and so trying to be like Tarantino.
Don't even get me started on that.
Oh god.
The seductive character that gets killed off at the beginning, she plays the main character in the new Star Wars game by Ubisoft. So
I knew I recognized her.
I do like the fact that I wish they would have kept her around. Having the Delty in there would have been so much more fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should have killed somebody else off in the beginning.
Because right at the beginning they mentioned,
"Hey, William."
Hello, William. They mentioned, the Delton is irresistible to most species. She tried to use that against the dude at the beginning, and then she gets vaporized.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only Deltons we have are Ilea and this girl, and we could have used more, and they wasted that. That was a waste.
They could have had another character there to kill off, or they could have killed off the shapeshifter who was.
They could have killed off the annoying Vulcan.
And the Vulcan
with the Irish accent. How do you two feel about the Irish accent?
Or at least kill the body off, and then have the little Men in Black Squid Game guy, and
Oh wait, now then.
But what about the guy? The guy they stole the suitcase off. The box, like with all his fucking augments all over his fucking face, with a little screen on his head and shit like that. Oh my! He looked like Sonic the Hedgehog and some woman had a kid. That's what the fuck it would look like.
Well, this side plays advertisements to help pay for the cost of the augments.
Yeah.
Oh god, it was awful.
Get an Amazon Prime message up here, like it displays out.
He's from the Mirror Universe, so we could.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing that I thought was interesting was the Squid guy, but not because of the robot body or anything, but he said something in the movie that actually made my ears perk up, and he was talking about how his race is ancient, they've been around for a long time, because he said we've been here since before any of you, and we will be here after you, and I'm like, wait a minute, we've got I would rather watch this movie.
Wait a minute, can we make a new Spore Drive out of you?
But then he started talking about the name of his kids. Yeah, my name of my kids are syphilis and anthrax. And trap 1 and trap 2.
Kyle 1, Kyle 2, and Kyle 3.
You know what I mean? Fucking hepatitis B. What the fuck? You know what I mean? These are the name of your children. So fucking stupid. This film, don't even go there, man. This film comes nowhere near close to Star Trek 5.
No. I'm sorry, Star Trek 5 is listen, I'm not saying it's above, far above Star Trek 5, but it's definitely Star Trek 5 Section 31.
No way. Just no.
Section 31, Star Trek 5, Into Darkness.
See, I don't hate Into Darkness that much. As I said, I don't.
I just my disdain for Into Darkness obviously is for reasons I mentioned before regarding not going in a new direction and all of that shit. But this film is the worst. And I want to know from the chat, is this the worst Star Trek movie of all fucking time?
And Rick B, you don't have to answer. We already know your answer. If it's Kurtzman, it's Eve.
Yeah, can we see the essay you wrote, or do you want to join the debate of mania on this topic?
No, I don't.
And I like look. I want to just say in defense of the concept is that I want more of this sort of concept where we don't have to be on a starship. We can be in this universe and do
Mhm.
other things and go different directions and be with different people and all of that. I like that. I really do like that. We don't have to follow Starfleet. We could
You
be do a
mage.
movie with Klingons and or Romulans and
But
just be
every
with
time we
those
do that,
characters.
people shit all over it. You know,
Well,
like,
we haven't even done it as a movie though, like or
well,
anything like that. Like we haven't really tried to, and uh, yeah, I mean,
I'd
Major
rather
said,
see a
yeah,
Klingon film than have to
yeah.
deal with fucking the Federation again. You know what I mean? Just give me a Klingon film.
That's
They just go
true.
around blowing the
Oh,
shit out of each other.
I've been using
Boring.
Blue Sky more, and I went to this like Star Trek Online section, like the feed, and there were people on there saying this just felt like a mission out of Star Trek Online. Like some of the graphics they had put up, like, and the ships, like this just feels like a mission, and maybe that's why it's not so bad.
well, it's
But
that it was supposed to be episodic. Like that's the thing. This was supposed to be a show. I don't think and that's probably one of the big pacing issues with the movie. Is this was supposed to be several episodes, like 6 to 8 episodes, and they cut it and whittled it down to an hour and a half, which would be what, like
yeah,
3 episodes, maybe two.
So that's the other thing as well. Then, so then this was meant to be a show, and then you end up making a kind of TV film of it, and yet you learnt nothing from how bad Picard was because this ends up being worse than Picard, and I think Picard is the worst track
I
I've
will
ever
agree
seen
that this is worse than
until I
Picard.
saw that. You know, Picard was
Oh,
shocking, and
this
this
is
is even worse.
miles worse than Picard.
Yeah,
Miles. Like,
I
all of
don't
the
know.
Trek
Season
I've
one was
seen.
pretty bad, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely under Picard in all aspects.
This was painful and irritating and horrible, and I was anxious. Like like, I was angry. I don't know. You remember the comment section I told you about Lord Donkey with
hmm.
me and Ginger. Um,
I've
Oh
got it
yeah,
I
do
here.
you have that? I
I
want to
said
see it.
I said look, first thing I wrote to him is I have not finished this movie yet, but I can tell you this: it's fucking shit. It's painful to watch. I dozed off near the end. I had to rewatch where I fell asleep. You got
Yeah,
a
my
common
husband
lookalike. I'll call
dozed
him
off halfway.
uncommon. Star Trek is good, but this
Go on.
yeah, Star Trek
Painful.
was good, but this wasn't because it's not Star
I
Trek.
am sure.
It's in the Star Trek universe. Whoever wrote this script needs to be deported. The worst elements of Americana you can ever envision. I don't want to spoil
Fucking
it for those
shit.
who have seen it, but this was I want to fucking kill myself bad. And then
Needs to
Ginger
be
says I have to
deported,
sit.
Sam.
Yeah, and then Ginger said I have to see it and go, yeah, watch it and die then, you know, and watch it and join our thing later because fuck me, we can talk about it briefly.
Yeah,
I'm actually
I will
angry.
do.
I'm
Send it
fucking
to you
fucking
later.
piece of shit film for fuck's sake. I was mad. I was mad. This was I was really infuriated that this could be the Star Trek that we had. Like this is insulting to Star Trek fans. It really is. It's bad. We
And
don't deserve to be
That's my
given
big
this.
problem with it. It's not
Yeah.
good. It's not going to be appreciated by Star Trek fans, or the Trekkies that are like, this isn't Trek. This is gatekeeping it.
it's just
But
not
it's
going to
not
be
going to
remembered
bring in
by
new
anyone.
fans either. It's not a good standalone. You ignore the Star Trek parts and it's just a good movie. It's not that either. I don't think,
Look, Star
Yeah,
and
Trek
that's
fans
what
have
it
many
needed to
strings.
be.
Star Trek fans have many strings to their bow. They're not just Star Trek fans. I have no, As I said before, I have no
Hmm.
problems having a film set in the Star Trek universe, which doesn't have to be necessarily a Trek morally type of movie. It could just be something totally different, and people with references to what we know as Star Trek to remind us that we're in this universe. And still
Hmm.
be an enjoyable film. Within there is a film, and usually when Star Trek goes for movies, they're not necessarily trying to go down the sort of television series of morality route and stuff like that, which is what makes Star Trek so popular. They're just trying to give you some entertainment, popcorn flick entertainment, and this definitely wasn't it. This was popcorn
No.
shit entertainment.
Yeah, but
What I
then
mean?
you
This was
also
something that was
most of
coming out
those.
my arse, not going in my mouth.
Well, but then you got people like Rick B that, as he said on here, he said basically what he said was, "Oh, 2009 Into Darkness and the what is it, the third one,
beyond.
Beyond and
Beyond.
Section 31, they're all shit. Star Trek 5 is the best." It's like you have a lot of these Trek fans that will not be happy until there's nothing left. They want to
Until
burn
we
it to the ground.
reanimate Leonard Nimoy and
Yeah, until we
Michelle
reanimate
Nichols.
Leonard Nimoy and his zombified. We do Weekend at
Star Trek
Spark's.
Beyond. See, look,
That's the
look.
Enterprise.
He has his opinion, and I would actually
But he
put
never gives us any. No, but here's the thing with him. He never gives us any. He never gives us any basis. Like all he says is it's crap. Really? Like we have given you many, 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 many reasons why this is a crap film. And don't get me wrong, I am not as strongly like crapping on it as you guys are, but that's fine. You guys can crap on it. You can think it's the worst thing you've ever seen. But you've got Trekkies out there that are just like, oh, it's Kurtzman, so it's bad. It's crap.
No,
Back it up. It's crap.
yeah. Obviously, and you know where I stand with this. I will say that I agree with him on this. Second 31 is the worst Star Trek movie. Yeah, for me it is. And then I will say Into Darkness is the second one after. But I will disagree with Beyond. I don't think Beyond is.
I didn't mind Beyond. It was all right.
I thought Beyond was okay.
Where did I put it? I ranked
saw
them
James
all.
I like
Wan
Beyond.
as the director. I was just like, there's going to be a ramp and there's going to be a car or a bike going over it. And oh, fuck me, there we go. The trailer hit, and that's what we got. I knew it.
You gotta be fast and you gotta be furious, man.
That was very out of place.
Family. Fuck that film. I hate that fucking film. That's also down the bottom.
Which one?
Jesus fucking Christ. I didn't mind the 2009 Star Trek. I'll be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
The 2009 one, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was something
good
different.
reboot.
It needed to bring in the morons. I mean, the new fans as well. And there
Me.
we go. I mean,
Yes.
hi. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, it needed to bring in new eyes because it just wasn't a profitable franchise, and it still isn't.
And
Franchise.
it had some great moments with
made a lot of
Nimoy.
money. Huh?
It had some great moments with Nimoy, and then it just kind of fizzled out. Yeah.
I'll happily watch 2009 Trek again compared to say Into Darkness, which was poo, and Beyond, which was even worse than that for me. I just fucking hated it. Like motorbikes over ramps. Fuck off. That's not Star Trek. But I'll disagree about Star Trek 5 being better than any of the next generation films. No, when you've got First Contact, which is a masterpiece, you can shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.
First Contact is the best.
You broke your little ships.
First Contact is my second favorite Trek film after Star Trek 6 Undiscovered Country.
I love Star. Yeah.
Plus, if you don't have First Contact, you don't have Star Trek Enterprise.
Exactly. But no,
I think he was more talking about Kelvin movies and this movie, like not the actual next gen movies.
No, he literally said it. Star Trek 5 is better than all of the TNG.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I've got the.
Then all the.
What?
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I
missed that part at the end.
I disagree with him. You know, he is a broken clock, and on this occasion, the clock's broken. You know, what I mean, because I totally disagree with you, mate, on that. There's no Star Trek 5.
But look,
so Rick B, we will say you are right in this instance.
1 second, sorry. So the one thing we can agree about, even Rick says, is we just want good writing, and that's what's lacking. Look, I end up sounding like a broken record because every time I'm criticizing anything, the first point of contact, no pun intended, is the writing. It's always the writing. And I said years ago, Hollywood does not respect its writers. It doesn't care about the writing. It just wants flashbang wallop and forget what's written. Now, if you go back and watch the most bog standard B-movie 80s film and the caliber of writing and the way they unravel the plot and the way they unravel and the dialogue, it's so just. That was where we peaked, the 70s and 80s in terms of writing, and it's been downhill ever since because the studios just want stupid popcorn shit with not overthinking the dialogue. This is why the spoofs went downhill after Naked Gun 2 because of the fact that Hollywood just didn't want the audience to have to really study the scene. They just wanted it front and center, and the writing was the same. Don't write too clever because nobody cares, and then the foreign audiences won't understand it and all this kind of shit. And you can't do Star Trek with bad writing. You can't. It's just, you leave that for Star Wars, which has always had bad writing. You know.
I disagree, unfortunately, regarding Generations, William. I think it's awful.
I love Star Trek Generations. It's
mean,
nowhere near the best.
Moments.
it has its moments, and it's quite touching here and there, and it does bring a smile to your face
Oh,
seeing
look at that one.
Kirk
They had to
and
Film.
Picard.
do
But
those all those cameos as hooks
but
to get people in.
Chekhov becoming a medical officer all of a sudden was a bit fucking stupid. It has its moment, and obviously like the destruction of the Enterprise was iconic. It had its moments, but compared to the rest, it's not that great.
The
Um,
destruction of that Enterprise with Geordi. There's nothing I can do. Barrel roll out. Let's
and then
go.
they really went comedic I mean,
Data.
but like I said, they had still memorable moments when Data found Spot and he started crying and he thought his emotion chip was malfunctioning, and then Troy said, "No, it's working just fine." It was great. Those are great moments. These are all moments all the films, all of the movies have, except for this one, except for the one we're reviewing right now. It doesn't have a single memorable moment that will last in living memory. Like unlike the other Star Trek movies, all have them. All of them have a moment, or two, but not this film. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
First
yeah,
time.
and the Enterprise B. I love the Enterprise B.
But
all
it's not
first
getting
10 movies
installed
are
until
great
Tuesday.
Yes, it is
and
not
have
getting
awesome
installed until
moments.
Tuesday.
So where does Star Trek films go from here?
I,
Like, I
they haven't
want more
announced
Star Trek
anything,
movies.
so
I
Star
do want
Trek
more Star Trek
4
movies.
has
I
been
do.
hanging in the wind for how long?
I don't. I
The
don't give a
last
fuck.
the
It's not
last
gonna.
That's
It's
Kelvin
not
movie
happening.
came out in
I don't.
16. It's
I
not
don't. I
happening.
don't want. I don't want a Kelvin movie anymore. I'm done with that universe.
yeah,
I yeah.
yeah, it's too far gone. I mean, so
right.
here's the thing: is that Paramount is still in the middle of this sale with Skydance. So I think everything that was not currently in production, which means Strange New World season 3 and Star Trek Starfleet or Starfleet Academy, everything but that is kind of either done or on hold because I know they've been filming Starfleet Academy because it was already in production when the sale went through, and out Strange New Worlds had already filmed by the time and sometime this year the transaction is supposed to come over. Now I'm guessing after Skydance comes in, they look at the landscape and they say this is what's going to happen. They will either decide to keep or get rid of Kurtzman, which fair enough, whatever they decide to do.
Please get rid of him.
I think after seeing this, I think we are like I know Rick B is gonna fricassee me for this, but like I think it is time to kind of look at at something else. Like I think
Get
it is time
fucking
to
Simon Pegg in. Get Simon Pegg.
What about Jonathan Frakes?
Absolutely.
Or Frakes.
Yeah.
Anyone. Anyone that knows what the
Give someone
fuck
who
they're
has
doing.
the background in the franchise,
Yeah,
directing,
no,
acting in it. Yeah, Frakes would be
you
great.
know, I'm actually glad you brought. I never really thought of it until now. But yeah, I think I think Kurtzman era. I think he's had a good shot at this. I think he started off really badly. I did think he did recover, but now with this movie, I think what, time to pass the baton.
Look, I'm going to put my hand on my heart and
Let's
I'm going
move
to say
on.
this. Look, okay, I'm not a big Trekkie, but I can 100% say this. The Kurtzman era will be remembered for the wrong reasons, and it will also be the most quickly forgotten era. Okay?
Mm.
Because it has come, taken a big shit stain on everything, and hopefully it will go. It's like the Kennedy era of fucking Star Wars. It will mostly be forgotten. It will just be remembered for Andor and Rogue One. And that's it. So I think they need to move on. They need to refresh. Get in Jonathan Frakes or get in Simon Pegg, somebody who knows what they're doing, and let them handle the franchise. Let maturity handle this fucking franchise because it's just too. It's just you can't dumb down Star Trek. It's so dumbed down. It's just shocking. And so yeah, they needs a refresher. Hopefully Skydance could do some kind of justice. You know?
Well, I mean, reading the comments here. What about
I was
just
about to bring that up.
like just thinking like, should we like this is it now? Like this is no more continuation of this period. Like this
No,
bookend
they need
all of
to.
this.
No, they need.
Yeah.
Here's what. Okay, they don't need to reboot. They don't need to reboot Star Trek. They can still honor what came before without fucking up everything that's to come. We give the fans what they want. Star Trek Legacy. There is your moment where you can start. That is your TNG moment where you can move from in the early 25th century and move beyond. You don't have to go to the 32nd century. You don't have to go to the 27th century. You go from the end of Picard season 3. You honor everything that's come before and just do right by the franchise moving forward. I'm sorry, I don't want to reboot. I get it. The aesthetics change over the years, but one show was made in the fucking 60s. Others were made in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Like, of course, there's going to be different. Like, they're going to look different because technology's come a
No, I
way
think.
different way.
Look, I do. I have to disagree here because I do think it needs a reset because there are a lot of modern sensibilities in terms of technological achievements that need to be brought in. We can't be sitting there walking around with fucking handhelds and all this kind of shit when we're in an era where they can literally just activate it without any kind of visual component. Okay, the fact that there's old people in the universe, there's bald people in the universe, there's augmentations that are obvious to be seen. Like that's stuff from the old era. That's in this kind of era, everything will just be unseeable, unrecognizable. And I know it's bland to the eyes, but it just makes more logical sense. It'll be like going back and doing Babylon 5 and having like data crystals and little thingies on the hands. Like that just doesn't make sense. So it's the little things that need the complete reset. As you
But
keep the aesthetics and everything, but the technological stuff needs to be brought into the
they
21st
did that with the
century.
Kelvin universe. They tried to use science to reboot Star Trek, and it utterly failed. Now, maybe if they did something like that again and like did it the right way, maybe instead
Well,
of with a plan,
no, but they
instead of
did
just hey,
that.
we've got these movies.
Yeah, you
They
can
did
do
that
it the right
again
way.
with Discovery season 3 when they went into the future, and some of the technology there was actually more inclined to what Ginger was talking about. Regarding how tricorders are and all these other things, and so phasing and shit like that. Um, comment here regarding they want to do Star Trek Origins. Wouldn't Star Trek Origins be Enterprise?
No, they'll
Yeah.
probably they probably means the reboot. Like,
I
yeah,
don't want to. Look, honestly,
I don't want to
I
reboot.
don't want any. I don't want any more Kirk, Spock, and no,
Yeah, I
please,
don't want that. All I'm saying is like,
or even Pike or whatever.
agree
Like,
to what Cheeto says in terms of the legacy, but there needs to be a kind of reset on the technology. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
That's
and they
it.
did do that in Picard season 3. Like, they did kind of adjust the technology for
Good. Okay, then moving forward, just
yeah.
Yeah.
keep doing that. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I don't want to lose. I don't want to go back and have here's Captain Kirk again. Here's Captain
No,
Pike again. It's like fuck
no.
off.
No.
Go
We have
forward.
enough
Same with
versions
Star
of
Wars. Leave the saga behind. Just
Exactly.
go
It's like
forward.
Star Wars with the
got
Skywalker saga. Let it go. God, let it end.
we've
Yeah.
got Nimoy with I am Spock. We've got Zachary Quinto. I'm also Spock. Ethan Peck. Hey, you're not gonna believe this, but I'm Spock too. Like Kurt's there's so much that's come out since 2009. All the shows and not so much the movies, but I think that this era has just overextended itself and they just need to get back to basics with I mean, we'll see what they do with Academy. I don't know. But
I think I
Strange New Worlds is working. Let's keep going with that. But maybe
season 2 was
maybe
not as good as it
Legacy.
should have been. Season
But
2
it
was
had the musical episode in the
no,
crossover.
no,
So it
no,
was
no, but it had
so it
too
was
much
perfect.
humor.
It was the
It,
best.
no,
It
it
was
had
the best piece of
no,
Star Trek media
no,
ever.
the musical episode was even done poorly, yeah, because they were too busy singing. They weren't really singing towards
No, Rick.
the main.
No, no, no. I'm not saying you're 100% correct. I'm saying that they tried to do too many things. They threw Star Trek spaghetti at the wall. Some of it stuck, like parts of
They did too
Discovery
much
and
comedy.
Strange New Worlds.
Lower Decks. I love Lower
Lower
Decks.
Decks was great,
Lower Decks
but
is the best of
it,
the new Star Trek.
it's time to only have like one
Oh,
show
Daniel
and
Bates
one
here.
movie out at a time. Like,
Daniel
That's
Wan.
far
let's
away,
wait
mate.
on Legacy until we're kind of done with Strange New Worlds.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like like it's there has been some good Trek in this new era, and it's just like,
No one
but no,
asked for
like I think
Strange
we're right. I think we're at an
Academy.
impasse where it's like, okay, like Zam said, time to pass the baton. You know, like let's see what somebody else can do with it now. Again, I'm not saying that everything that Kurtzman has touched has been shit, because it's not. You know, that's the, and Rick B, you're not 100%. You're right about Section 31. There you go. You are right about Section 31. But I'm, you know, like, no, you're not right about it. There is good Star Trek that's come from Kurtzman era.
It had
And a lot of Kurtzman has brought in new fans, which is important because the old school Trekkies that grew up on TOS are not going to live forever.
They're on Medicare right now. Like, you know, like
we need young, fresh fans to get interested, get into the classics.
And here comes
And
Rick
that's
talking
what
about
I
his
was.
son. My son loves Deep Space Nine and blah 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 blah.
Daniel Vance. That's what I will quickly say. I mentioned this earlier regarding that MacGuffin. It was supposed to blow up the universe that Giorgio was in, and yet the Terran Empire were also supposed to come into that same universe and, you know, basically take everything and conquer everything. It was so fucking stupid.
Was great. The Chaos is my friends with Bennett. My friend with that doesn't need to be in a Star Trek movie. A funny line for maybe Star Wars.
Here we go, Rick B. Screw the new fans. They don't know what good Star Trek is.
Okay, but when all the people who grew up on TOS are gone,
you donkey.
who's going to be around to appreciate the classics? The new fans that can be brought in with stuff like the 2009 movie.
Again, they will rather burn it to the ground than let it like advance.
Yeah,
I don't understand because when you're trying, why are you? Look, to get new fans, you need to appeal to the old fans. That's how it works, in my opinion.
They need to do both. Yeah, yes,
but new fans come because old fans will promote it for you. Yeah, because it's good shit. Like old fans have been promoting stuff like Star Trek and Star Wars and all this shit for years because it was fucking good. But because they're so busy trying to, you know, incorporate new fans and not care about what the old fans wanted, we're not there to do that job for them anymore because they're just churning out shit. That's all they're fucking doing. And so you have to make the old fans happy, and trust me, the old fans will make new fans for you.
I've been writing new Star Trek, and it's basically just called Section 69, and it's just a bunch of scantily clad chicks and a dude, scantily clad dude, because I'm equal opportunities, and they just go around banging
is
the
the
galaxy.
dude Q?
That's it. And what more do you need? Sorry,
is the dude Q, or where does Q fit into that story? He needs to be there.
They're the ones that have to go after because he evolves from Q to QAnon, so they have to take him down. You know. So, you know. See, I'm fucking genius. Kurtzman, hire me.
Daniel Vance says Garrett promoted faster on a secret mission than Harry Kim his entire Voyager career.
By the way, Ginger, there's already a movie.
You guys are all still ensigns?
It's called Deep Space 69.
All right. Okay.
Just so you know.
I mean, that's low-hanging fruit, but I mean...
People were ahead of their time.
Yes.
And now we've gone back. But I've taken us ahead because I've added a bloke in there as well, you see.
Yeah.
I'm very forward-thinking.
How about a starship?
Candy for the ladies and the gay community. You know, we're equal opportunities here.
We're also equal opportunity offenders.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd watch something that Rick B would appreciate. Yes, make it happen.
We'll watch Section 69 just because it's Star Trek, and then whether shit on it or not. Yeah.
If it's a Star Trek movie, we're required to watch it.
I would make it would be like it would have the most fucking intricate writing in it as well. Like you have to think about it while there's text on the screen. It's like, fuck, this is really good. This is really fucking good.
I think what we're seeing from the comments is Rick B should be the new showrunner.
Rick B definitely needs to be in charge.
For what culture? You can
Rick B definitely needs to be in charge of the Star Trek porn universe. You see the next one he puts Star Trek: The Next Penetration.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. Garrett
Rick B, you will be in charge of the porn universe in Star Trek. Absolutely.
The undiscovered cunt.
Oh God! All right.
Yeah.
The original motion of the ocean. So-
No, that's terrible.
Well,
Are
that's
we
why
gonna
they're
have to go through every movie now and make it dirty? That's fine. I've got time on my hands.
This,
Are
No,
we
we
going
can
to
go
rate
ahead and
this?
rate the film, I suppose. I don't know.
huh?
Should you just rate the film?
Oh
Let's
God!
rate
I
it.
mean, 2.
0 from me. So
Uh,
yeah.
If we are able to do a minus mark, I would. But as we've never really done it before, it's gonna get a 0. Like it doesn't even deserve a rating. You know, it's that bad. This is some of the worst shit ever. And sometimes you go into something knowing it's bad, and it ends up not being that bad. This was still bad. This was worse. You know, sometimes the trailer might do a film an injustice. No, the trailer did a film the justice that it deserved, but you knew it was shit in the trailer, and this film fucking proved it was shit. It was fucking bad. 0.00.
Donkey?
negative 000 is still just 0,
Zero.
though. What even does it matter? A 1, a 2, a 0?
I mean, it doesn't
It's
matter.
in my
There's so
bottom
many movies with
5.
Doesn't really
this
matter,
that
but-
matters, but I mean,
Yeah, I
Closure.
don't. Yeah, it's maybe a 1. Star Trek Gay DS8. Okay,
yeah.
No, William.
Well, listen, let's
No.
leave the
I'll
porn
watch it.
parodies to Rick B. Okay, that is his strong suit.
Yeah.
all I'll say is that it makes it into my bottom 5 movies. Bottom 3, actually.
Movies of all time or Star Trek movies?
Star Trek movies.
This is some of the worst films I've ever seen. I always say
That's
Rebel
one of the
Moon
worst
1 and
films.
2 is better than this shit. You know,
What?
and those are Rebel Moon
Oh
1
yeah,
and
yeah,
2.
yeah, yeah.
The Last
So it
Jedi
doesn't
was better
blend
than
with the
this.
stupidity of it.
Last Jedi is better than this. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
You better
Last
hope
Jedi's
Lord
movie.
Donkey's husband isn't watching this. He's all of a
He's
sudden
not.
like
He's playing something else.
like Lord Donkey's feed is gonna go off, and we're never gonna hear from him again.
Right,
Look,
that's what I said. I said we knew who the baddie was going to be like in the
No,
first.
but I
10
wasn't
minutes.
in that. Look, I didn't know because I wasn't that invested because I was in so much pain from watching it that I couldn't give a shit. You know, like you can pick up on
Oh.
certain things. I picked up on certain things before,
Oh.
but this time the pain was so unbearable. I couldn't give a fuck.
All I remember was as soon as she put the hot sword to his face, like, oh, that's not going to come back to haunt her later. I
And
just
again-
feel that it was a waste of bringing Giorgio back.
It's the 23rd century, 24th century, and you have scarring. How do you have scars?
Well,
Why do you have fucking scars?
hold on, but that was in the
That's
mirror
the Terran
universe.
universe. So
Yeah, so they probably they probably
they
had
No
forced him to
excuse.
leave it.
yeah,
No
it's an
excuse.
it's a good excuse. They probably don't let
No
people like do dermal regenerators. You know, they want them to have those scars for subjugation purposes.
Yeah, that was giving his Shinzon layer of what they pull. Because I really feel like they just brainstormed all the fun things they could pull from other Star Trek
We don't need that, Dan. We
worlds.
can literally see it on the right hand side.
Oh yeah, sorry.
They just
I
cobbled this together really badly.
Yeah, they did. You're
As I
absolutely
said, Rick,
right.
but you saw the messages I was sending to Ginger. I wanted to kill myself, and I haven't said that since I saw some of these fan films we used to watch back in the day. Like, yeah, this like you know what? I would some of these fan films. I'd rather watch them 10 times over than watch this shit again. I will never, ever, ever
Give me
watch Star
Nazi
Trek 31.
Arabs in the desert again over this. Film.
Oh yeah. That Star
That
Wars
was
movie.
Star
yeah.
Wars, though. I mean, yeah, that
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Give
Give
me
me
Fabulous
Indiana
Aqua,
Jones
bro.
4 over this.
Yeah. I'd rather watch Temple of the Crystal Fuckwit than watch this again. Yeah.
oh man.
All of that, you know, like the
The
worst.
only film where I've ever just walked out of the cinema from. That's the
What
only
was
film. Yeah. Indiana Jones 4.
Oh, okay.
I walked out of the cinema because I had a
only
pass.
That was the first Indiana Jones I saw because we didn't have the VHS at home.
This film
So
is just as bad as for me. One of the movies that also made me want to kill myself, which was awful, and it was a terrible sort of slapstick spoof film in the vein of Aeroplane was Meet the Spartans. You know,
Oh, that was
and
terrible.
the
uh,
spook. Yeah.
and I wanted to fucking kill myself. You know,
Hey,
watching that, and that is that level of bad.
I've got one. This is worse than the 1996 Doctor Who movie.
Oh,
I
is
know
that a bad
exactly what
film?
that means.
It's a bad.
Do you?
It's
You
not
understood that
that.
reference?
No, I did not.
I did. I
Oh.
did. I watched that movie, and I stopped watching Doctor Who after that because it was a bad movie. But still, this film
They went
is
on
fucking.
hiatus again. They were supposed to start a
Yeah, they did. It
new
was so bad that
series.
they went. Yeah, you're right. You're
Maybe
right.
Trek needs a little
Yeah.
bit of a hiatus.
Again?
I,
Like they've already had like 3 hiatuses.
Well, it's okay.
Like they had
I
a
just
like
Put
don't
out
in,
think
good
Star,
stuff.
in the
Star Trek
Star
needs
Trek:
to
The
70s,
belong
Lenses
in
in
and
its
the
Motion
universe.
Picture.
yeah, in the
We're
70s and the
we're
early
too dumb. We're
2000s.
too, you know.
Between Enterprise and the 2009 movie.
Yeah, and then after the I think the what wait, when did Beyond come out? Was it 2015?
16.
2016? Okay, so
Nick and I
I
went to
wouldn't
see
say that
it
there
the
was a
first
break
year we
there.
were dating. Like,
Yeah, that I think Discovery came out in 2017. So I don't think there was really a gap there. So they've had 2 major hiatuses already. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just need to get their shit together, and I'm hoping Skydance will do it. As I said, with Discovery ending, with Picard already ended, with Lower Decks ending, you know, Strange New Worlds is really the only, and you know, Prodigy's technically over on Netflix. You've really got to rein in what you're doing here, because your major franchises that started this thing are now gone. Strange New Worlds can carry the baton for a little bit, but you need to figure out what you're doing. Starfleet Academy, the concept excites me. I don't like the time frame that it's in. I wanted a Starfleet Academy that took place more in the Picard era timeline, like post Nemesis. I didn't want it in the 32nd century, so I don't have a ton of faith in that show. I'm hoping for it to be good, but it's just like they really need to rein in what they're doing. And with section, this is a huge phaser in the back
That's why
to
no, I will actually stick to what I said earlier regarding this being a franchise killer because Strange New Worlds can't, in my opinion, can't necessarily keep this franchise afloat on its own. It needs other shows and other stuff to carry it in this day and age. And considering season 2 wasn't that great, but had too many comedy episodes in it. It was just ridiculous with the comical episodes. Um,
and that stupid music episode, singing episode.
which I would put
the
as a
pop
comedy episode.
Klingons.
No, but I put it one of the comedy episodes.
I know.
Regardless, like and then after this, we're getting Starfleet Academy. That has to be a hit. It genuinely needs to be a hit. If not, honestly, Star Trek could be on its last legs, and that's scary shit.
But that's
It
what I'm
really
saying.
is.
They need to refocus with Skydance taking over. They need to refocus. And as I said, might be time for Kurtzman. He's been at it for almost 10 years. Maybe it's time for him to pass the baton. Even though, yes,
I
it
agree.
was bad starting, like you said, Zam. He was bad starting out. He got better, but now maybe we're in the downfall of the Kurtzman era. And it's
He's
like,
peaked.
okay,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
somebody needs to pick up the pieces and run with it.
Because was there no one that test film screened this and said, "Hey, you should work on this a little more"?
I don't
They,
think
they never listened to those people. The idiots
But
that they put to
the
test watch
studio, I
things,
mean, before
they
anyone
change.
in the public has seen it, they didn't like test screen this and say, "Wow, this is bad." They should have known
Yeah,
better.
yeah. Just they don't know. And the thing is, the people that run the studios, they don't have a fucking clue. They,
no,
they,
they're
they,
so
they,
disconnected. It's not even funny.
they're so talentless. They have no artistic. They're just money people. They're just fucking dirty little capitalists
How
with
can
no
we
artistic
milk
merit.
Trek for more money
You know.
when this is more than just a franchise? It's part of our culture, and it deserves better than
Yeah. But the thing is, look, we've entered the era
this.
now where there's just people are not gonna fucking hang around for franchises anymore. Star Wars is dead. Like nobody watched Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton
Like
Crew.
it didn't even break top 10 on Disney Plus, let alone streaming services. The Marvel stuff has plummeted in viewership. You have the injection, obviously, with Deadpool because that's just going back to the well again and giving us the stuff. Captain America: Brave New World is probably not going to do anywhere near as good. The only selling point for external people is Harrison Ford as Red Hulk, but you know we're in this era now where they've done so much damage that people are just not hanging around. They're just not
Yeah.
hanging around because they're like, why am I going to invest my time when there's so much shit out there to watch? Why am I going to invest my time in a franchise I know I'm just not going to enjoy anymore?
Well,
And
they need to just stop pretending that like, well, it's Marvel, so they're going to show up. It's Star Trek, they're going to show up. Like,
They did that for a while.
yeah, and they
yeah,
have, and it's like,
they've relied on
no,
it for too long. And people are
yeah.
like, no, there's bigger and
Catherine
better stuff
Kennedy
out there.
is what
There's so much good shit out there in terms of TV land to watch and enjoy. And people are not going to hang around for franchises that are just gotten old and stale and dumbed down.
Catherine Kennedy is actually a prime example of that because when Mark Hamill was being very vocal about his dislike for the Last Jedi, regarding the filming process, he actually said, it doesn't matter if they like the film or not, as long as it sells tickets.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that mindset only can work for so long because now
That
you're not
word
selling
of mouth
tickets.
is going to destroy the reputation of a franchise.
If it's
yeah.
shit, fool me
I'm
once,
so
shame on you.
glad
Fool
we
me
didn't
twice,
spend
shame on me.
$20+ on this at the theater.
For
Yeah,
what?
no, if this come out in the cinema and you lot went and
Oh
watched it, I would have
God,
just felt
yeah,
bad.
I'd
Mhm.
ask for my money back.
I would not have gone to the cinema for this. I would have found other
No,
ways.
I
There's
mean, I'm not
no
going for
chance
Brave
in
New
hell.
World either. Like, I just don't
I
care.
am. I'm
Mhm.
excited to see it, but I'm going into that one thinking it could, because with all the massive reshoots and stuff like that.
Yeah,
The only benefit I see, and I know I'm tangenting here a little bit, and then we'll end this, but is that the fact that the runtime is lower, so maybe they've trimmed off all the excess bullshit, and maybe it'll just be a good political thriller that's focused. You know what I mean? Like it's only going to be like an
yeah.
hour and
Give me a
45
political
minutes.
thriller, and I'm happy.
Yeah,
Like, if
I
it's a
think that's
political
kind of what
thriller,
they're going for.
yeah. I don't want popcorn dumb shit. I want a political thriller. It's as
So,
simple as that.
all right. Any other last comments on Star that we haven't said?
Kill me now.
Okay, that's a good one. End it on. I think moving on forward with the highly logical podcast. We've talked about it. I think we're going to start moving into it. We're going to start doing some watch-alongs of the original series. So when we meet, we'll just either we'll pick an episode or we'll watch them in order of a TOS episode, and people can join in, and we'll have like a like a starting point. What is it called? A sync point or something like that, where we all
Yeah,
start and
Hmm.
we'll run our commentary during the
so
episode.
that CBS doesn't come after us.
No, we're not going to
Oh,
put
fair
the
enough.
episode on the
Yeah.
screen. We can't, but we'll have like either a timer or something on the screen that we can do. But it'll be because I have not watched TOS in many years. So this will be interesting. I know Zam said, and I know I know that Major Rage has also said that he has not watched TOS in many years. So this will be interesting to go back to
I haven't watched any
TOS.
of the old Star Trek, dude. I haven't watched DS9,
I
Voyager, Discovery. Sorry, not
Oh,
Discovery.
I did a
TNG.
rewatch of DS9 and
I've
TOS.
been
2 years ago.
hmm? oh
I was
I've
just saying I
been
did a rewatch of DS9 and TOS a few years
I
ago.
need to watch DS9.
You
I'm
haven't
not the
watched
type
it?
of person to go back to
Not
often. Like
very
if it's on
not
telly, I
I've
might watch
watched
it.
bits and pieces of it.
Oh, it's the best.
Hmm.
It's the best.
Yeah, DS9
No,
is
like
absolutely the best, like 100%.
Sky
Yeah.
TV for a while, like they would, like Sky One, remember, like would show like Star Trek, Voyager, or DS9. It would repeat the episodes and stuff, and that's how I would rewatch it. But I would never go out of my way to physically rewatch it. It has to
And they,
come on media,
oh
television,
right,
which
you're that type. You didn't have it like on DVD or
Um,
anything like that.
fuck all
I have
that,
it on
man.
Blu-ray. Like I have the original series on Blu-ray. I just have not watched it in
I've
years.
never been the type of person to buy films and shit like that because it always ends up on TV eventually, and that's how you can watch it again.
No,
No.
What a
vividly
shit
support
mentality
physical
to
media.
have.
Well, you only watch it a couple of times on your DVD, then you never fucking watch it again.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
have
Babylon
it
5,
then
I've
for when you
rewatched.
want to pull an
Babylon
episode.
Pop it
5,
in.
I've rewatched to the point. Like all my
Star Trek,
DVDs that I
pop it
have,
in.
like especially the old British comedies, I rewatch the shit out of them.
Oh
And
yeah,
now I do
sorry.
it on
Well,
digital.
I can
I
only watch
wore
the
out
stuff.
my DVD player. My first DVD player that I bought, I wore it out because I was just
Hmm.
rewatching the
I'm
same
using
shit.
my
Hear
old
that? He pour it
360
out.
as a
You heard it.
Yeah, I'm using
Yeah,
my
I
Xbox, old Xbox
my
as a
re
DVD player
I
right
don't
now.
rewatch. I don't rewatch stuff like I used to. I used to rewatch stuff a lot when I was younger. And it was always through television how I'd rewatch it. But now, and I'll record stuff as well. But now, as I've gotten older, I just like there's so much new shit churning out. I can't be asked to rewatch the old shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
would
no,
love to
I
know.
always have some kind of rewatch of Star Trek on. Like when I'm doing work or something at home, I'll have Star Trek on in the background because I know it all so much that it's just like I don't need to like physically have
Yeah.
my eyeballs on it.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
if something comes up that I see, I'm like, ooh, but like for a couple seconds, but I know what's going on with the exception of
Mhm.
TOS. That's why I'm like I haven't done a rewatch in many, many years. So that's why I'm like, I think
Oh,
I'm
just go back and just enjoy the writing. Just the writing itself. It's fucking
I'm gonna
amazing.
enjoy Shatner's acting. There's
Yeah.
Oh, I
something on the
saw that
plane.
about Hugh being on Star Trek Online. William Wells, I just started. I just reinstalled Star Trek Online on my computer and got to finish the Terran Empire, where Will Wheaton, Wesley Crusher was the Terran Emperor.
Lovely,
I streamed that the other day on my
Awesome.
Twitch.
lovely. That might be worth having a
And
look at.
Beverly comes in at the end, the Terran Beverly, and
What
it
spoilers?
was it was
Fucking
V'ger
spoiler, I don't care.
and the Terran
V'ger, the
version of
spaceship.
V'ger.
The Terran version of Feature?
Yeah,
Nice.
Wesley Crusher, the Terran Emperor, merged with the Terran version
Oh
of
God.
V'ger, and
Yeah,
it was
that's how you
interesting.
get damn uninterested. You make it confuse you make it, smart confusing.
Actually, you know what? The character of William, who merged with Vija at the end of Motion Picture, that could be something worth coming back to after all this time to see what happened with all of that shit. I wouldn't mind
They
returning
they
to that.
briefly, barely touched on that in Star or Picard season 2
Did
with
they? I
Crusher
can't
coming
fucking
back.
remember.
That's
Yeah,
how bad the show was.
You talking
Still, I
about
wouldn't
Wesley or
mind.
William Decker from the motion
are
picture?
you talking about William Decker?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
talking about
William
William
Decker.
Decker.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
His
I
name
think
was William. I couldn't
Donkey thought you
remember
were
his
talking
surname.
about Wesley.
No, yeah, William from Motion
Nobody
Picture.
fucking
Who
cares about Wesley.
I
Nobody.
mean, all the Doctor Who
Shut
fans.
up, Wesley.
Yeah, shut up, Wesley. The sticker kid
don't
in there
forget
that
Harry
was doing
Kim
a
with the
good bit.
Borg.
Oh, let's bring it from a
Harry
kid's
Kim fucked
perspective.
around a lot, man. You got some sort of
He put his nano
alien
probes in everybody.
sexually transmitted disease, which turned him into a horny fuck.
He broke the
Yeah,
multiverse too.
Yeah,
Nice.
asshole. Anyway,
I, yeah.
all right, well, that wraps it up. We've talked about Section 31. We've chatted some other shit. Everybody, thank you very much for joining us. If you haven't already, please like,
Okay.
share, and subscribe. Let us know what you thought about Section 31. Are we way off base? Do you guys agree with Rick B that it is the greatest Star Trek you have ever seen in your entire life?